Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we play a little bit of catch-up after getting caught up in so many topics yesterday. I didn't really get to talk about any game news, and there's been some pretty huge, significant news going on, including the closure of one of the longest-running games journalism sources in history. Plus, I'd like to get you all caught up on, what happened on the streams yesterday, but also, GTA Vice City has begun, and I'm very excited talk about all of these topics with you on today's very chill edition of the Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, well everyone, welcome to Saturday, the 3rd of August, 2024. The second in a very long-running week of streams for me. As you know, as I announced yesterday on the show, this is 7 straight days of streaming for me because of scheduling conflicts and the like. So yeah, I'm going to be here a really long time this week. Anyway, I'm excited because today we're going to chill and talk all about news topics and things we didn't get to yesterday. So, by the way, I'm really liking this camera now. I mean, take a look behind me now, how good this setup looks. I would say the only downfall, and this is sadly what happened with the old camera too, is when you get a day when it's really sunny like it is today, you don't really see the backdrop coloring on half of the screen. Like, you'll see it over here because there's a corner in my office, but it doesn't really reflect very well off the wall here. But outside of that, it looks amazing, right? Look at the color. I actually look flesh color with this camera in any lighting, which is pretty remarkable. I hope you guys have been enjoying the improvements, right? Good stuff. So, welcome to the show, and today we've got a jam-packed day of gameplay. Luckily, shouldn't be too stressful after yesterday's stress-filled day with the Nintendo World Championships and Street Fighter, which I'll update you all on in a minute. Today, more laid-back day. We're going to have our final day testing out the Marvel Rivals closed beta. It ends on August 5th, but this is really my last opportunity to sit down and mess around with it, in my own schedule. So I'm excited for one more major stream of it, trying some different characters, and going from there. And then tonight, Stardew Valley Chill returns, and Stardew Valley is always a favorite of the certain group of people who like it. Of course, keep in mind, it's not my mainstream appeal, but hey, you get 100, 200 people who like that kind of thing, and we all have a great time on those streams. So I'm very excited for that. By the way, that's funny. Yeah, AMS just says, let's hope it stays connected for us today. Yeah, so lots of technical issues that jumped up yesterday. It was so odd. We had connection issues with the internet, and then the camera went crazy and became sentient. If you missed yesterday's podcast, this new webcam that I'm using, which, by the way, I really like it. It's smaller, so I can focus in on it a little more when I'm looking at the camera or whatever. And it doesn't have a giant reflective front, so I don't see myself in it. It actually is kind of cool to look at. But anyway, basically this camera has AI functionality that if I program it to do so in its software and I raise my hand like this, okay. Oh, by the way, is it running at 60 frames? I don't think it is, because I think I don't have the software open. Oh, shit. I don't think I had the software open, so now it's running only at 30 frames, isn't it? And that's my fault. Yeah, it's 30 frames this morning. That's my fault because I restarted my PC last night. And, dang it. The camera needs its own software to run at 60 frames. So I don't have the software open, so I think it's only running at 30. It looks 60 to you, Fed Roger? Is it really? Because to me it looks 30, but if it's 60, it's fine, then I don't need to open the software. Okay, maybe it is. Okay, yeah, you know what it is. Cool. I thought I needed the software open for it to work, but I guess it's working. It's 60 frames. Okay, cool. As long as it's running at 60 frames. So. No. The options don't mean anything. That's what I'm broadcasting at, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what the camera is at. But as long as you guys are seeing 60 frames, then I'm happy. That means I don't need to have the software open because it has its own proprietary software. And in that software, there's gesture controls. There's AI auto motion controls. So if I do something like this, right? Now, it's not working. I turned it off in the settings. But if you go like this, all of a sudden, this gesture triggers it to have me start doing things with my hand. Like I go like this or this, it'll zoom in and out. And then if I move in my seat, the camera will auto follow me around the room. It's wild that they already made a webcam with AI that does this. It's a nice feature, and I accidentally enabled it yesterday during the stream. So if you want some laughs, watch yesterday's podcast where it was like following me around the room. It was creepy. I was like, oh my God, it's alive. But definitely, I like the just kind of regular adjusting better. A little creepy to think that I have to use the restroom and it follows me to the bathroom or something. That would be something. I'm taking a dump and the door opens and the webcam peeks around the corner. I'm like, oh, freaking out like a horror movie. Anyway, so yeah, so that was yesterday. We had those technical difficulties. Hopefully they're worked out now. I think they are. Yeah, the camera is 60 now. Yeah, how weird, because I really thought you needed the software open to get it to run at 60, but I guess not. I guess this camera does run. Once I get the software installed, it just works. So that's cool. Okay, so anyway, good stuff there, and excited for a full day of fun today. First things first, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the remastered edition of my original 2012 playthrough. Part 1 is now live on DSP Throwback. This took days and days of work to get to work on YouTube. So I really hope if you haven't yet, it just went live an hour ago. I hope you'll give it a look, all right? One of my most epic playthroughs of all time. A playthrough that, back in the day, you know, got people excited to watch my content in 2012, because here's someone who has never played the original GTA trilogy. Let's be honest, I wasn't great at games. I was pretty bad at games at the time. And I also decided to play the PS2 version plugged into an HD TV. What a genius move that was. It created so much input lag and everything. The game became so difficult. And I played the whole trilogy like that. So this particular playthrough, because it's set in the 1980s, I vibed with it. You know, I grew up in the 1980s. I knew a lot of the music and everything. So it was really neat to play. It felt like the whole playthrough feels like a party to me. Like, you know, you're chilling out on the beach and everything and hanging out and doing crazy stuff. And it's a really good game to begin with, having Ray Liotta as Tommy Vercetti. But the ensemble cast of characters that are in the game is also absolutely outstanding. So part 1 finally went live this morning, about 30 minutes long. I really hope you'll give it a look over on DSP Throwback. I hope that people will follow the playthrough. You know, some of these playthroughs, they start off strong and then they fall flat. But this one, I hope people will actually enjoy, especially because of the amount of work going into it to get the music and everything edited so YouTube doesn't mute the video. I mean, that's the problem with the original playthrough from 2012, is you literally cannot watch it right now. If you hit play, half the videos are muted, half the videos are not available on YouTube, you know, all kinds of dumb issues. So now to finally get this back available to watch is epic to me. I know it hopefully will have some meaning to you as well. I actually cannot wait to watch future parts and enjoy this playthrough again. So that is live. Now, the other update here is that starting tomorrow, the Red Dead Redemption 1 free roam online gameplay will begin to go live as well. We're going to alternate between a day of GTA Vice City and a day of Red Dead, back and forth. The online free roam is when I teamed up with my friend John Rambo as well as some other people online in a lobby. And we just rode around the open world of Red Dead Online to check out what content was in it. We were looking for fun stuff to do to make videos. And we discovered the physics engine. We discovered how funny parts to jump off of and stuff like that. And it just became hilarious to set up ridiculous things to do in the online setting. So this is lost footage that's never been on the internet before, because sadly the channel got taken down. So this is good raw cooperative gameplay. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's not an official playthrough. It's just kind of dicking around with a few friends and having fun, you know? So I hope you'll check it out, and it should be a good time, alternating that with GTA Vice City. In fact, the next 2 videos, like I have that, and I also have the next Vice City video already for me to review and title. Sadly, once again, every video that I'm uploading to DSP Throwback is getting flagged as not suitable for ads. Then I put it up for review, and they all get approved for ads. So it's the stupid YouTube AI is so dumb that because those few videos from Dante's Inferno got flagged for nudity, now every video is going to get auto-flagged, and I have to have them all automatically, not automatically, but manually reviewed. So it's a process, and just so you know, FYI, there may be times when I just cannot get the videos live right away. If there's an issue where the video we can't get the music cleared, we can't get the dang thing approved for ads, it may take days of work to get it working. It's just what's going on with YouTube now. It's a nightmare. You know, I will say this. On this channel, I don't have issue with this. I just don't. I do not have issue on DSPGaming. But over on DSP Throwback, it's like every video is having this issue, and we just have to go through these stupid arduous steps to get it all approved. You know, all for what? To get 200 views and make like 3 pennies on it, right? But still, it's the philosophy behind it. It's a lot of work going into it. We should be able to monetize it, right? And so if you do like DSP Throwback, what I will say is this. Number one, consider becoming a member. Being a member would directly help the channel, obviously, outside of just watching it and getting some ad revenue. But also maybe consider a contribution over there. You know, every video has a link in the description where you can actually do a tip. Or for the videos that are monetized, you could use a super thanks on the video. That would help too. It certainly would be great to get some more support on the channel for the amount of work that's going into it over there. But again, it's really not what it's about. It's about posterity. It's about getting my old content out to an audience that maybe has never seen it before in a modern way so that people might like it, and also to preserve the playthroughs. Red Dead Redemption 1, LA Noire, they didn't exist anywhere. They were literally dead playthroughs until I re-uploaded them, right? Same thing with Final Fantasy 13. Now with GTA Vice City, I'm restoring a playthrough that's half destroyed on YouTube. So that's why we're doing it. It's really not because, oh, I'm looking to make big bucks. I mean, I'm putting out videos that are getting 100 views. I'm not making big bucks. I'm making like $1 a day, you know? Okay, so that's what's going on over there. I hope you'll check it out, all right? Let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday on the channel, we had a fun podcast, which I've already discussed. There was so many topics to talk about yesterday. I'm not going to retread them, but give it a look. The AI camera was pretty funny. And then we jumped into the Nintendo World Championships NES edition for like the second major stream. It was cool because now we had headed into week 2 of the game, where you get to see your results of how you did in the World Championship Challenge last week, and there's a new World Championship Challenge set up to do. So I checked my results, and if you can believe it, I made it to the top 8% of one of the challenges. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. You know, there's around 60,000 people who are playing those challenges, and to be in the top 8% is pretty huge when you really think about it. Like, wow, I did pretty darn good in one of those. So that was fun, and then I did a really cool new challenge where it's a speed run of Super Mario Bros. 1, the entire game. It gives you a guide explaining how exactly to go through the game with the warp zones and everything. I was like, oh, that's neat that they give you that guide so you can kind of like beat it in one go. And it took me 8 minutes as a speed run to beat Super Mario Bros. 1. I'd never done that before. So that was fun to do. And I had a lot of fun doing all the different challenges or whatever. I'll probably go back to that maybe once a week, each week, to check the new weekly challenge, see how I did on last week's and stuff like that. As long as you guys like it. It seems like it does all right when I stream it for variety purposes, so I'll keep that in the rotation as of now. Okay? Cool. So that was first stream. So last night's late stream, I got something to say about this one. Okay? All right. No, it was top 8% overall. It was top 8% overall ranking, which was pretty amazing, I think. Well, I'm sure you can check the video and now fact check me, because now people are like, maybe it was only in your birthday. You're right. Maybe it was only in my birthday. All right. Last night's Street Fighter 6 stream. Let's talk about this. I put the game up and I said, hey, we're going to go back to M. Bison. I haven't played M. Bison now in 2 weeks. M. Bison is my highest ranked character. You know, I have over 1,600 ranking points, and I'm looking forward to playing good players. So first I start doing casual play. And in casual play, you know, I'm finding a variety of people, a lot of flowcharters, all right? But I'm rusty as well or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm losing. It's not a big deal. I'm sure I'll get back into the swing of things. And people were like, oh, are you aware about the reset? I said, the reset? What reset? Oh, Capcom did maintenance the other day, and they reset everyone's ranking points. They did what? They reset everyone's ranking points. After all that work that I put into getting Bison to a higher rank so I don't have to fight legions of flowcharting scrubs, they reset the ranking points. So, for a normal Street Fighter player who plays all the time, it's their hobby. They're probably playing Street Fighter 6 5-6 times a week for a couple hours a night. This is not a big deal. To them, they'd be like, not a big deal at all. No problem. Just go right ahead and play more, and within a week, you'll be right back to where you were. But the problem is, that's not me. Oops, I just kicked my camera. That's not me. You know what I mean? I don't have the time or means. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a variety creator. I don't just play Street Fighter. So because of that, for me, and you know this, I play it, what, twice a week? If I'm lucky, I play Street Fighter 3 times a week, right? And I also play with a variety of characters. I don't just have one main. I mean, yes, Bison's the character I've done the best with, but I got Honda, I got Dalsim, I've got Blanca, and honestly, Lily and Zangief at this point look like they're going to go by the wayside and just be on hold because I don't even have time, right, to play with them. So, I don't have the time and means to sit there and grind away again, right? And it's very frustrating because I'm like, I worked hard against good players too. It wasn't, you know, I got through the army of scrubs, and that final stream that we did 2 weeks ago with Bison, I felt that was an accomplishment for me because I was literally facing good players every match. I was facing people that were 1,700, 1,800 ranking points and holding my own with them, getting wins on them. And that was amazing. I'm like, dude, that's excellent. I can't wait to go back to that. And then I go back to it and it's gone. It's just like someone just took it away from me. Like someone came in my house and stole something out of my house. That's what it feels like. You know? Why did they reset the ranking points? I could see if they rebalanced the game again. Like, let's say they totally rebalanced it. Now everything's from square one. Okay, that makes sense. No, they did that with Akuma in what, late May? So why in the holy hell did they just do it? Why did they take away the ranking points again? It doesn't even make sense. There's no changes, so why are you erasing everyone's progress? That actually legitimately pissed me off. And so what we did is we basically went back in to play ranked, and it was completely a mix. So let me put it this way. Every single Cammy, every single Ken, every single top tier player we faced was a shitty flowcharter. They literally didn't know how to play Street Fighter. They just followed this pattern of, I'm going to do this rotational guessing game, push you to the corner, and then just do this and guess. And if I hit you, I'm lucky I win. But if you prevented them from getting into that flowchart, meaning you played smart footsies, you played smart neutral, right? You countered what they were doing and you kept them mid-screen, they had absolutely no answer for it and would be completely dominated. And that's what happened. It was like 50-50 for me. Half the people spank them like this. Half the people, oops, I made one mistake, or, oh, I didn't stop the flowchart. I'm in the corner. That's it. I lost the game. And it's a nightmare. It is. It's not fun to play these idiots because top players, good players don't play like that. They have brains. People with brains don't want to play like an idiot. They want to have fun. You understand? Playing a flowchart is not fun. The only way you would ever find that fun is if you're a moron who doesn't understand fighting games. Then you think, oh, repeating the same pattern a zillion times is so much fun because I can get wins. But smart players who understand games don't want to just get wins. They want to improve and intelligently win, not just go duh, 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 right? It's the difference between, oh, look, I just typed up an amazing, insightful composition with great arguments, awesome dialogue, and real discussion that makes you think. Or someone said, oh, look, I copy-pasted someone else's work onto my document and I submitted it to the teacher and I got an A+, right? So, yeah, it was very frustrating because half the night I just didn't have any fun at all. Good news is, I did have a positive win-loss record. It was just really close. I had 21 wins and 18 losses in ranked. I did earn a small handful of points. I think I earned, no lie, 9 ranking points by the end of the night. Because every time I won, then I played a flowcharter. Oh, it's a gamble. It's a crapshoot. Oh, I lose points. Then I'll fight. And by the way, props to the people who aren't flowcharters. Props to the Zangiefs, the Dalsims. Who is the other player who I played who I had a really good match against? Shoot. Now I've forgotten, and I apologize because I wanted to give credit where credit is due. If you're not picking a top tier and flowcharting, and you have intelligence and you actually want to improve your game, that's what it's all about. And it's sad that these people just don't care about actually learning Street Fighter, but instead just want to get wins and brag about it, even though they'll literally never beat anyone offline. They'll never win a tournament. They'll never be notable. They'll just sit there like a moron and say, oh, I got to win on Darkside Phil because I flowcharted. Nobody cares. A zillion people have beaten me flowcharting. It's worthless. It just makes you look like a fucking moron. So, yeah. It's a very big, frustrating situation for me. I want to have fun, and I can't have fun playing Street Fighter until I get past the flowcharters again. And this is for every character. This is not just for Bison. Every character's been reset. So all the characters that I just got points with, remember I just got some points with Dalzim and Honda, they're all erased. I'm all back to 1500, basically back to the start. Got to start everything over. I'm just like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding. So yeah, it was an incredibly frustrating stream. I didn't really have fun. The good news is, by the end of the stream, I was getting everything back. My muscle memory, my combos, it was coming back to me. And I'm getting back to the top game again. And so I'm going to be playing again. I think it's Monday's daytime stream. And with that stream, I'm hoping to get momentum back. Like maybe now I'll be like, okay, let's get back into the swing of things, right? Let's seriously get back into the swing of things and get stuff going. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so basically for me, it's going to be another uphill climb in Street Fighter. We're starting over, but I guess it is what it is. I have to fight the morons again and deal with it. That was yesterday's streams, okay? Like I said today, much more chill day. Tomorrow, React Day, where it's going to be DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts, and then it's going to be the conclusion of the Retro React to Mario and Sonic at the 2012 London Olympics. We'll wrap up that playthrough, and then after that, what I was thinking is we'll start taking a look at some of my PS home runs that I've done over the years. That'd be pretty neat to go back and re-experience all of the cool classics things that I've done over the years. But that's an experiment where every few years I would go back to try PS Home and see what it was all about. So this will be pretty fun, I think, to explore PS Home over a course of a couple of weeks or whatever. So anyway, so that's coming up Sunday night. Monday, like I said, I think it's going to be Street Fighter 6 on the day stream. And then Monday night, I think I have... Oh yeah. I want to go back and play SNK versus Capcom again. I only played it once. I bought it on my mini PC a couple weeks ago. And it was a fun time. You know, the characters are really weird and it's a wacky game. But I only played it the once. And I'm like, man, I want to go back and play it. I just haven't had a chance. So I want to do like a one-off night stream of that and see how it does. I would hope that at least you'll get some interest, that some people will come by just to see the wackiness. I'll probably try some of the different characters and everything. And then the rest of the week, I want to leave up in the air, because I'm still going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just to make it clear. I'm going to be here a lot of streaming this week. But there's a few factors involved this week. Number one, as I already explained to you guys, it looks like I'm going to be appearing as a guest on the Kino Casino stream show over on Kick. And it looks like as of now, unless things change, it's going to be Tuesday night. Now, it's going to be taking place at the time when I normally would be doing my late night stream on Tuesday, which means I actually will not be doing a late night stream on Tuesday. All right? Instead, I'm going to appear on their show. Now, just to forewarn everyone, prepare for technical issues, because the way it seems like every single person who I talk with or I appear on their show is different. When I was on Side Scrollers, they used this one thing that I've never heard of and I never used again. When I was meeting with Mike Klum talking about the documentary about me, we used another streaming thing. And now these guys use another streaming thing. It's like everyone uses something different. So I don't even know how I could even test it ahead of time. So it might just be a situation where, man, I hope it works. And I jump on. I hope the camera works. I hope the microphone works. I hope headphones are working, so I can actually be on this show. And basically it's going to be 2 hours, all right, of me appearing on their show. And no, I'm not restreaming it. I'm not recording it for myself. This is purely just I am a guest on their show for a couple of hours. And it's going to be during the time when I would normally be doing my late night stream. See, their streams are really long, but they don't do that many. Like, they do maybe like 3 a week, but they do really long streams. Like, they'll stream starting at like 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, but then they'll go for like 7-8 hours straight. which is crazy. Those guys got some endurance, man, to be going that long without a break. So, that'll be live on Kick. And then what they do is they take what they feel are the highlighted best parts of the show and they split them into digestible clips and they upload that to their clips channel. They have a Kino Casino clips channel on YouTube. And so they'll probably be posting those up after the show within a day or two, I would think. Okay. So, so I am, gonna do that probably Tuesday night. That's what we've set as the tentative schedule, unless something changes, but that's what we're doing for now. Okay. So Tuesday night, I will not be streaming. All right. For the rest of the week, what am I doing? I don't know yet. I'd like to leave it open. Let's see how things go. Will we do more Street Fighter? Probably. Will I do more Nintendo World Championships? Probably, because at that point later on in the week, it'll have done the weekly reset. So it would be great to jump into that. Definitely more Stardew Valley chill for sure. And then we'll see. Do we want to do SNK versus Capcom or other stuff? And also, all right, this is something in the works. I'm not going to, you know me, I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. All I'm going to say is this. There is a possibility, a strong possibility, all right, that I may be getting even further upgrades to my setup soon. And if I do, this is going to blow some doors open. Let's just put it that way. That's all I'm going to say. That way, I'm not going to spoil, but I'm also not going to overpromise. But it looks like there may be further upgrades that would be pretty darn neat if they can happen, but I'm not going to say they're happening and then get all overexcited and then they don't. All right? So, but we'll see. And this could even affect the streams this week. It could. It could actually affect the streams this week. So I don't know. Let's see what happens and go from there. Fair enough? I'll let you know as the week is progressing. I'll give you more information on stuff like that. Fair enough? Okay, so that's kind of the week for now. Now, keep in mind, this month we got big stuff coming up. There's a Review Tech USA documentary by June the King coming out. Supposed to be the second week of August. I just don't know exactly when yet. So once it comes out, I'm going to be reacting to it. There is a possibility I may do a co-op react with Kino Casino on that documentary. It's a possibility. Well, let's see how Tuesday goes and go from there. But yeah, it's a strong possibility that we may actually do that. All right. And then later on in August, we've got huge amounts of new games coming out, including Black Myth Wukong, Star Wars Outlaws, the Black Ops 6 beta, a few others as well tossed in there, plus, supposedly, my documentary from June the King is supposed to be coming out, and it's 4 hours long. So the way I'm going to have to tackle it to react to it is split it up and basically do, like, day streams of gameplay and night streams of reacting to the documentary. It's the only way I'm going to get through it. I'm going to have to split it up and have half days going back and forth between different kinds of content. Okay? So August is going to be an insane month. Like, we got so much going on right now. Seriously. There's a ton of good stuff going on. And wow. Never usually is the summer this busy and crazy. And it's just a crazy, big, exceptional summer. Okay. Okay. It is time for us to get to a particular segment of the show. All right? And it's my favorite segment and your favorite segment and everyone's favorite segment. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for DSP News. We haven't done this in a bit. We have a good amount of news stories to cover today. So please bear with me. The first news story is as follows. Avowed. The new game from the makers of The Outer Worlds. Right? And, you know, the people who made Fallout New Vegas. So, Obsidian Entertainment, correct? The game that likely is going to be, kind of like a new Skyrim in a lot of ways. Has been delayed, but not really. And here's why I say that. It didn't really have a solid release date anyway. They had been targeting this year, but they had never said, oh, it's guaranteed to come out on such and such a date. So what I'm happy about is that they didn't overpromise and underdeliver. All right? It's coming out February 18th, 2025. So it is a delay of what, you know, a couple of months because, you know, you thought, oh, maybe it'll be out by December, and it's not. Okay? But at the same time, I'm totally okay with this delay as long as it ends up being really good. Now, as for the reason for the delay, all right, it actually might not be what you're thinking, because you might be thinking, oh, the game has issues, the game needs to be improved. Actually, no. from the reports, what's happened is Obsidian did something smart, all right? They looked at everything going on in November, December. And just to give you guys some perspective here, okay? Because a lot of people don't understand the perspective. In November, December, you're going to have insanely huge games coming out, right? There's going to be the new Call of Duty, of course, in October 25th. A new Life is Strange, a new Mario and Luigi Brothers game, the Dragon Quest III Remake, Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new Microsoft Flight Sim, Stalker 2, okay? And that's just a few. There's going to be way more games than that are going to have solid release dates. We just, we're not there yet. But, but basically, what they did is they looked at the situation and they're like, we put a lot of time and effort into this game. The last thing we want to do is rush it out, have it come out and say like late October, early November, the same week as 7 other games, and now everyone just says, I got overshadowed by other big releases, and no one plays it. And admittedly, I've been saying this for many, many years. I really do strongly feel that way too many companies try to push their games out at the same times to make those year-end profits. They all want their game to be the Christmas present, right? They want to get the holiday and sales inflated bonus. And so they all release it at the same time. I think that's stupid. I think that's a really dumb strategy because it doesn't work. What ends up happening is all these games cannibalize each other, and then they end up getting lower sales. And what ends up happening is because they have lower sales within a month or two, they're all on sale for 20, 30 bucks instead of the 70 that they were hoping to get selling it at retail. So, yeah, I actually completely agree with their decision. I think it made sense to delay this game until February. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing on that, though. What a lot of game companies have done is said, oh, well, we'll just have our games come out in February because we don't want to be part of that Christmas crowd. So there may be other companies that now follow suit, and now you'll have a not-so-crowded Christmas season, but instead February has 17 games coming out in 2 weeks. This has happened. So I guess we'll have to follow this and see what happens. But for now, hoping that this decision helps Avowed. Like, Avowed looks good to me. Listen, I like Obsidian. I like the games they've put out. I think Avowed is looking better and better every peak we get at the game. So I'm not too worried about it. I think this is a smart business decision. I'm okay with them delaying it. As long as it ends up being good, it looks like it will be. So, hey, delay the game. It's all good. And let's all enjoy it in February. It'll be a good first RPG experience of the year for us, right? Right? Cool. All right. Let's continue. By the way, I just want to say to those who have contributed, especially for those of you who might be newcomers to the stream, I do shout-outs for all contributions near the end. I want to get through my topics first. My fault, because I forgot to explain this at the beginning of the show. It's my fault. I need to realize now I have some newcomers coming to streams every day. I need to explain this. So please don't feel left out. I'm absolutely going to do shout-outs for your contributions, okay? Okay. Continuing on with the news. Our next news story regards Nintendo. Ready for this? Nintendo profit has completely plummeted. It has fallen 55% because sales of the Switch have finally slowed down to a crawl. It took this long. I mean, think about how long the Switch has been out, right? Over 7 years. 2017 is when it came out. Finally, the sales have slowed down, okay? So it was both revenue and profits plummeted in the first quarter. Nintendo only sold 2.1 million units of the Switch, down 46%. So nearly half as much as the year before. Investors currently are looking out for solid concrete news of a Switch successor, which has been highly rumored, but has not been concretely discussed by Nintendo at all. They're hoping that this is going to reinvigorate Nintendo's business. Now, can we be honest? I feel like we should be honest for a minute, okay? 7 years into the launch of a console, yeah, you're not going to sell that many consoles, okay? With Nintendo, I think ever since the Wii, they basically got such over success with the Wii that they kind of like are used to just always selling consoles. And now finally, 7 years later, it slowed down. I mean, that's even longer than the Wii's run. You're aware of that, right? The Switch has had a good run, better than that of the Wii. But if you look at the games that have been coming out for the Switch, it's been very lackluster. This last year, particularly, I'd argue the last really big heavy hitter was Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And then once that was done, can you name another ginormous game that really got people excited? Oh, Super Mario Wonder. Yeah, but it was a 2D Mario game. That doesn't have the bigger impact, like, say, if they had made a new Super Mario Odyssey, right? So, yeah, it sold, but it wasn't gangbusters, right? It wasn't a Zelda game. I think they're struggling right now, trying to find things to do on their console. And, you know, it is what it is. They sold so much at the height of its popularity, that's probably not a big deal. But you don't really want to see your branding now kind of go into decay and decline. It's definitely time for them to announce another console. So I would guess by the end of this year, we absolutely will have concrete announcements and information about the next Nintendo console. That's my prediction. By the end of 2024, we will know all about the new Nintendo console, and I bet it will go on sale early next year. That's my prediction. Anyway, I don't think Nintendo's in too many dire straits with the insane amount of sales over the years that they've gotten. You know, this is no Wii U situation where they were doing so poorly they had to sell these stupid things to save the company. You know, imagine if the Wii U, if they didn't have these, they made so much money on these stupid things. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe they did. Anyway. Oh, by the way, hold on. I might have another one. Oh, yeah, look. I actually have a second Amiibo. I forgot about it. A fan had sent me like a box of like just odds and ends years ago, like 2-3 years ago. And they sent me this Amiibo in the box. I totally forgot I had it. And then I found it again like a few weeks ago. I was like in the office, like moving stuff around. I said, what the hell? And I looked, I said, oh, I actually have a second Amiibo. So I have the Link Archer Amiibo from Breath of the Wild. And I have the Wolf Link and Midna Amiibo from Twilight Princess. I have 2 Amiibos. I don't know if I'll ever use them. Like this one I used a couple times during Tears of the Kingdom. I don't even know what this one would have done. But I don't know if I'll ever even use them. But that's the funny part is... Oh, by the way, it says right on the back, Wii U and 3DS, 2 now defunct consoles are listed on the back of this thing. Look. But yeah, the funny part about it is they were all the rage, right? They totally were. These things were all the rage. Huge discourse. Everyone loved Amiibos. And now everyone's like, what's an Amiibo? Which is what I was saying when they were popular. I said, do you really think these things have any actual intrinsic value at all? No. It's just a dumb collectible to buy and line Nintendo's pockets because they failed with the Wii U. And people did it. They ran out and bought these in droves. All right. I guess I could. Generation Z says you could put those in your background. I guess you're right. Wow. Wow. Amazing. I didn't space them out very well, though, did I? There you go. Now you have a lineup of characters up there. Very exciting. Okay. Turn on the AI cameraman to follow me when I do that stuff. Exactly. Okay. All right, continuing on. So you might have heard this, guys. They're actually making a movie of Until Dawn. Do you remember the game Until Dawn? At this point, you might not. It's 9 years old, if you can believe it. Until Dawn was the first major horror game from Supermassive Games. It was such a success, they went on to make the whole Dark Pictures saga. They had an Until Dawn spin-off game, something of blood for PSVR, amongst other things as well. So they're making a real-life movie with, you know, it's the same plot, supposedly. Like, it's going to be the same as the game. So I wonder how it'll do as a horror movie. The bummer is, if you've played the game, you already know the plot. So you're spoiled on the big twist, because it has a ton of twists that are actually quite good. But you're already going to know what happens. But this is kind of interesting. The person who plays the doctor, his name is Peter Stormare. He was Dr. Hill in the game. Remember, he's the doctor talking to the kid, and he goes, oh, what's the word he says over and over? It's so funny when he says it. I forgot it now. It's been so long since I played Until Dawn, I forgot it. I can't remember now. Shit. Because he's a really good character in it, and he has this really cool phrase he says over and over. And I can't remember what it is, but maybe someone will remember in the chat. But he's really good in it. And now he's going to play himself. He's playing the character basically a decade later for the movie. So that's pretty cool. Also, you know, I wonder, what are they going to do? Because there's multiple endings to the game. So what are they going to pick for the canon ending? Will everyone survive? Will some people die and some people live? Will only a few people survive? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, that's pretty cool that Peter Stormare, or Stormare, I don't know how to say his name, that he's going to play the same character 10 years later for the movie as he did for the game. God, it's on the tip of my tongue. We're talking about the Until Dawn movie. We're talking about the Dr. Hill, and he's talking to one of the characters in the game. And he basically said, what is the word that he says over and over? And it's like very catchy, and I used to use it as a phrase, like a meme. But I can't remember what the hell it was now. It's been so long. Damn it. It really is at the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember. I'm sure someone will now go back and watch the Until Dawn playthrough and memes and tell me later. They always do. So if you're watching this back, let me know. Leave a comment on the video, okay? Okay. All right. Last but certainly not least, and probably the saddest story of the day, ladies and gentlemen, out of nowhere, out of the blue, with absolutely no warning whatsoever, although admittedly I think the writing has been on the wall for a while. Yesterday, Game Informer magazine was shut down completely after 33 years of being a physical publication and also online. They completely closed. The employees were all laid off completely. Literally, no one is left. And when the employees were actually given notice of this, they actually said, oh no, and they ran to their website because they wanted to see if they could get some of their assets back that they've been working on, because they were all in the midst of stories and things. And the website portal was removed. There was no portal for them to log into. It was already removed and shut down. So basically, all work they ever did on Game Informer is gone. It's been erased from history. There is no archive of their articles or work. The site is just a placeholder saying goodbye. Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about Game Informer. Game Informer started in the 1990s as a newsletter. I know because I had it. I actually got signed up for it, and I got the first few newsletters in the mail. And then eventually, the newsletter caught on and became so popular, they actually converted into a full gaming publication to rival things like GamePro or Electronic Gaming Monthly, which were their other like modern contemporaries at the time. I would argue that at first they were kind of the underdog, but I actually did like the work that they did. And over the years, they actually not only surpassed and outperformed, but outlived all of their contemporaries as GamePro and EGM and all these other publications went by the wayside. Game Informer persisted. Now you might say, well, why did they? In a digital era when IGN and GameSpot and Kotaku and all these online sources of information are prominent, why on earth did Game Informer last 33 years? Well, the answer is very simple. Strategic partnerships. Because Game Informer allowed themselves to be bought out by GameStop at the height of GameStop's popularity. And GameStop had this genius idea that if you became part of their pro program, meaning you pay them annually, like $20 a year to get into their pro program, number one, you'll receive discounts on used games. You'll get increased trade-in value on used games. But number two, you get an automatic subscription to Game Informer magazine. And so Game Informer found themselves getting subscriptions in an era when a lot of paper subscriptions had gone away. They were still getting paid revenue from this tie-in partnership with GameStop, you see? That's how they persisted for so long. Now, I will say this. When I started on YouTube as a YouTuber, I would look at game reviews and the like. And even though they weren't perfect, I would more often lean toward agreeing with the game reviews that came out of Game Informer than most other mainstream publications. Notably, you would look at an IGN review, and sometimes you would scratch your head wondering if the person who reviewed the game had ever played a video game before, right? They have had some awful boneheaded reviews over the years. Game Informer, for the most part, had really insightful, intelligent reviews, and you could tell the people who played and reviewed games were taking it seriously. They realized that the reviews had weight in the industry, and if they misreviewed a game, it could make or break that game and actually hurt the studio. So I feel like they always had this feeling of responsibility and professionalism, while their contemporaries just did whatever the fuck they wanted and hid under, oh, journalism, it's just an opinion, bro, I can say whatever I want. They were always way more respectful and way more professional in what they did and how they conducted themselves. And honestly, I think it was a combination of that respect level, but also the fact that they had the backing of GameStop. They were always able to get big exclusive stories, right? How many times, oh, that's what it was. It was psychopath. That's the Dr. Hill quote I was thinking about from Until Dawn. Because he's basically talking to this person, diagnosing their mental illness. He goes, oh, psychopath. He goes, psychopath. That's right. That's what it was. Okay. That happened right in the middle of my train of thought about Game Informer. I'm thinking about Dr. Hill. Anyway. Not suck the what? Psychopath. But he has an accent, so he goes, psychopath. Okay, anyway. So, Game Informer was able to get epic stories, front page exposés about brand new games coming out that other journalists would be drooling at the mouth for and couldn't get. If you wanted your game to be blown out in an expose and get a lot of coverage, Game Informer was the way to do it, because you knew that they still had a reader base that was installed from GameStop customers, you see? So, they were great. And, I mean, I'll be honest. In the last 10 years, everything's gone digital, right? All the gaming magazines are gone. They're all gone. They don't exist anymore. It's all online. Everything's online and free, instant, digestible content. The whole print medium is gone, for gaming anyway. So it's shocking to know that Game Informer actually lasted as long as it did. I feel like if they didn't have the backing of GameStop, they would never have made it this far. You see, I think they would have gone out of business 10, 15 years ago. It really was just the backing of GameStop that allowed them to succeed and continue while all their contemporaries went out of business. However, the writing's been on the wall. GameStop itself has become a relic of an industry that has changed, and they have not changed with it. The vast majority of gamers are now buying their games online digitally and just downloading them to their consoles or PC. People are not going to the store and buying physical copies in boxes anymore. In fact, that's why you have entire companies like Limited Run Games that are doing limited edition physical runs of games that are digital only, right? So we know this. And GameStop did absolutely nothing to adapt. Instead, they turned their stores into junk stores. Their stores are literally wall-to-wall Funko Pops, t-shirts, mugs, action figures, models. Like, what is it? I thought this was a fucking video game store. What the hell is this junk store? That's all it is. They say, oh, it's collectibles. It's high. There's no value to any of it. It's all just trash, because the real value would be if it was rare. None of that shit is rare. That shit is so commonly pumped out, all out of fucking China and Taiwan, low quality shit. It's not a collectible. You want to know what's a collectible? A $700 statue of which only 200 were ever made, right? You're not going to really find that kind of stuff at GameStop. You're going to find the junk. So, the fact that we already know GameStop is failing. We know this. They would have already gone out of business, but if you remember, Xbox bailed them out. For some reason, like 4 years ago, Xbox invested a bunch of money into GameStop, saying, hey, feature our stuff prominently and we'll invest in you. And that's really why they're not out of business yet. But when you see this partnership now is gone, Game Informer has been liquidated, right? They're gone. They're all flayed off, and the company no longer exists. Even the entire website done, no history, just archived, destroyed, right? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my opinion. You can disagree. This is the beginning of the end for GameStop. This is the definitive sign they will be going out of business very soon because they have nothing to sell in their stores. They have no competitive advantage. They're not getting people into their stores. Remember, the idea by leadership a few years ago was, oh, we're going to make our stores a place where people can come and watch tournaments streaming online and stuff. What the hell are you talking about? It never happened. No one, I mean, what do people even go to GameStop for anymore? You tell me. Anything you want gaming, you could get from Walmart, you could get from Best Buy or another similar, Target, another retailer, or you go right online and order it and have it within 24 to 48 hours. So why do you need a brick and mortar business, right? You don't. That's the thing. You don't. So, yeah, that's the deal. So sadly, rest in peace, Game Informer. I'll be honest, I really liked Game Informer over the year. Not always, but I feel like in the realm of print medium, they were a step ahead of everyone. I tended to always agree with their reviews over a lot of other games journalism sites and things like that. They did a great job. They were reputable. And it's sad to see that someone like this that actually has value gets erased because the parent company has run themselves into the ground and doesn't know how to operate. It's really, in this case, the parent company has no pertinence. GameStop has no place in gaming right now. They're going to go out of business sooner rather than later. In fact, I will say maybe about 2 years. In about 2 years, I think we'll see the end of GameStop. They will all shut down and go out of business because they don't need to exist anymore. Okay? So that's my prediction. But it's sad to see because these guys were good and actually had value and now they're gone. That's the saddest part. Something of value actually was lost along the way. GameStop going away, you lose nothing of value. But these guys had value. And that's sad. So, rest in peace to Game Informer. You won't be forgotten. But man, you were an epic era of gaming journalism history. That is absolutely for sure. Lasted a very long time. Okay, everybody. So that was the news. I think now we will do some shout-outs and probably Q&A and the like, okay? So first of all, let's do some shout-outs on the YouTube side of things. We start off today with Perry the White with a 20-pound super chat. Thank you, Perry the White. He says, Phil, looking forward to seeing you on the casino. Have a great show. Thank you so much, Perry. Yes, we already discussed that. That it looks like I will be appearing on that show Tuesday night, okay? Maddie, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that very much, Maddie. And the Crunchiest Onion just did a €5 super chat and says, the funniest thing about watching Evo was the pools. Watching all the pattern Cammies and Kens tried doing that stuff at an offline tournament and they got spanked by the pros. There you go. And the thing is, I'm not a pro. I have to keep emphasizing this. Am I good at Street Fighter 6? Yes, I am. Am I a pro at Street Fighter 6? No, I am not. I don't play it enough to be able to counter those patterns. I don't, you know? And that's sad, but it's true. They beat my ass because it's easy mode gameplay. They know the different options to do that they can get away with. It's always a gamble. There's no guarantee it's going to work, but it's like a high chance it's going to work. It's like playing the odds in blackjack. You know what I mean? And you also got to keep in mind the factor of my level of rust and poor execution because I don't play enough. So I make literally one mistake and then boom, they capitalize and destroy me, right? And that's frustrating. So yeah, but yeah, at Evo, I'm telling you, these people, these scrubs who I'm playing at 1,500 master ranking points online, they would never win at a tournament or at Evo. They would get maybe one round in and then they immediately get spanked by someone with a brain. And in reality, I'll tell you this, I really feel like if I played these people offline, I would do better. I would be able to block on reaction. All these cammies that just walk up low, medium kick, drive rush combo. I would never get hit once. I would block it every time. but I can't block on reaction online because there's just too much latency. Even with the better connections, it doesn't work, right? Anyway. All right, so thank you, Crunchiest Onion. Now, FYI, that is all we got for support so far today, but the day is young, all right? You guys know the deal. When it comes to my streams, my goal is, number one, to hit 50 bucks in tips every stream. And number two, anything else that comes in, super chats, super stickers, memberships, gift memberships, tips, all great. But I hope that I can hit that tier 1 goal by the end of the stream. If you like the content today, please support it in some way. Consider tipping. That'll be a great way to support the streams. Okay? Cool. Castro Jenkins, 38 months as a member, asks, will I try the Hunter x Hunter Neo fighting game? I don't even know what that is. I don't think it's a mainstream fighting game, right? So probably not. If it's not a mainstream fighting game, I probably don't have time for it. The Apple Goblin, the super chat, reiterating things that I have said about flowcharters having empty craniums. Exactly. Oh, that's a good one. Well, how on earth did it... That doesn't even make sense what just happened. There we go. Okay. Now, Kermit Sith Lord did a super chat, saying the Kino Casino guys are funny, so you hope that it works out. Again, me too. Because I've said this many times over. There's two things I'd like to say. Number one, I would likely enjoy to do some variety of style of content, meaning rather than it just be me sitting here all day, every day talking or playing games, I would like to do other kinds of stuff for variety, right? The thing is, I've never been offered that opportunity. It seems like every time that there's been an opportunity, it's been very two-faced, very, like kind of a bait and switch situation. No one actually just wants to hang out and have fun. What they want to do is try to find a way to benefit from it. Like, try to get me on their show so then they can immediately hammer me with a bunch of dumb subjects that's lolcow questions and dumb shit that I don't care about, right? How many times have I said over the years, if anyone actually wanted to offer me like, hey, we're doing a show that's going to be about the history of YouTube. You've been on YouTube for 16 years. We want you to be there to talk about the different changes YouTube has had and add your 2 cents. It would really be insightful, right? Excuse me. Or hell, what about the history of Street Fighter? Or what about, there's a million things that I can be insightful on because I've been around for a long time. But no one wants me for that. They just want to... Can we talk about personal drama? Can we talk about this stuff your detractors have said for 7 years and how it's all true? And can we deride you for it and get money from your detractors while we do it? And it's just like, I've had enough. I don't want to play that game. I don't. It's bullshit, right? And what's sad is all other content creators have opportunities to branch out and do stuff outside of what's just in their realm of their individual comfort zone. I'm not allowed that opportunity because of my detractors. It's that simple. Every opportunity that I get to do something different, they ruin it. Oh, there's a sponsorship opportunity. They'll go to the website. They'll go to the Discord. They'll go to the X account. And they'll harass the sponsor nonstop, saying, oh, Darkseid feels a jerk. Darkseid feels a this and this and this and this. And it's not even the fact at all that those things are true. It's that they just don't want to be bombarded with such negativity that then they don't want to have any association with me. That's literally what happened with Curse, and I've explained this before. After my falling out with Machinima, my longtime partnership company, I teamed up with Curse for a year, and they were my partnership company on YouTube. They literally had to let me go because they said, we get so many complaints from your detractors every day, and literally they're all fake. They're all false flagging your videos saying you're doing awful things. But because of the rules on YouTube, when we get a complaint, we're supposed to investigate it because we're your partnership company. We receive so many false complaints about you. We can't continue to have you as a partner because we can't spend time investigating and disproving every false claim about you. economically, it's just not worth it. So we have to let you go, right? And it's been like that any opportunity that I've gotten over the years to get a product sponsorship or anything. I told you, there was just a few months ago. Oh, not a few months ago at this point. At this point, it was like earlier in the year. But a guy wrote me and said, hey, I work for such and such a company, and we do merch. And we'd like to do merch for you and your community. It looks like you have a sizable community. Maybe they would buy some merch. And I said, listen, I would like to do that. In fact, I've been looking for a merch company. However, you have to understand I'm one of the most harassed people on the internet. I have a group of detractors that are going to go out of their way to harass you if you do business with me. Are you okay with that? To which the guy said, it won't be a big deal, I'm sure. Everyone has haters, right? I said, no. It's obvious you did zero research before you reached out to me. I want you to search for my name on the internet. I want you to see the insane level of nonsense about me, all right? And then I want you to respond back and tell me that you still want to do business with the level of nonsense and harassment you're going to get. And then he never responded ever again. Probably put me on the blacklist, right? So that's what I mean. Like, that's how it is. These detractors have stalked me and really, really fucked with me for so long, all right, that I just can't have fun anymore outside of the range of what's considered safe here on my streams, right? And that's sad. I would love to have fun. The original offer that I got from Side Scrollers last year was supposed to be fun. We just want you on the show as a guest. They literally had done this with dozens of, well, not dozens, but with probably about 8 people before me, other YouTubers they had done it with, okay? But the thing was, none of those YouTubers brought them any attention or clout whatsoever. Once they offered to have me on the show and they announced it, all my detractors went and messaged them and says, oh, so you see, here's how you got to do it. You got to do a really intrusive interview with him, really hammering him, because that's what should happen, and that will get a lot of views and attention. And they're suckers. Instead of being like, who the fuck are you? Fuck off. We just want Phil as a regular guest like everybody else. They saw the dollar signs. They saw the opportunity for attention. And they jumped on it and immediately changed the format of their show to be a 5-hour interview instead of a variety show that I'm just a guest there for. And, you know, we all know how that went. So that's what I mean. I can't just get the opportunities everybody else gets for whatever reason. Why? You tell me. Because if you actually look at it from an outsider's perspective, there's no valid reason. It's just that they get attention out of it. They get their jollies out of it. They feel better about themselves when they know that they've ruined an opportunity for somebody else. Why? Because they're evil people. They're sad people. You know what I mean? It is. It's pathetic. So, in this case, all right, this is something that I'm going to experiment with and see how it goes. And, you know, if it ends up being fun, then it's something to consider for the future. If it ends up being a dud, or if I end up feeling like the guys are disingenuous or whatever, well, then I never have to deal with it ever again, right? But this is no 5-hour interview. This is no bullshit at all. This is just going to be me hanging out with these guys for a couple of hours and relaxing and, you know, just kind of being a part of their content, right? And that's what it's all about. And it'll be something different for me, too. It'll be a way to break up my week, which is good. It's a long streaming week. It'll be a good way to just do something different that night. So hopefully it goes well. We'll find out, right? And then if it goes well, then it might lead to more. Like I said, I'm interested in maybe doing a co-op react to the Review Tech documentary and stuff. You know, we'll see. But let's see how this goes this first time, all right? And it's funny because a lot of people are like, well, you know, do you trust them or not? Here's the thing. I don't think they like me. I don't believe that at all. At least they don't like me because they don't know me, right? Until we have a chance to maybe hang out and have a good time, how would they know if they like me or not, right? But personally, no. I don't think that they're buddies with me or whatever. Obviously, they know that having me on their show is going to give them a little bit of a boost, and everyone's going to tune in to see how it goes, right? So there's definitely that. And I'm sure that in that case, they're probably going to want to have it go well. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just as apprehensive as all of you, because there's a lot of people who are like, well, you've been burned before, right? Again and again and again and again and again. So what makes this any different? You know, I don't know. At the same time, though, there's no risk here. The difference is this is not me doing a 5-hour interview where there's tons of risk and bullshit. This is just us hanging out on their regular show, you know, having a good time. That's what it's supposed to be. So we'll see how it goes and go from there. Okay? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does work, great. Well, let's judge together how it went. Shall we? Sound good? All right. Fair enough. Okay. Spawn Killer, thanks for the super chat. I enjoyed the interview with the Quartering. Yeah, and that was a zillion years ago, and he was respectful to me. And after that interview, that was it for him because my detractors basically just dumped on him constantly, saying, "Why didn't you do a bunch of horrible things to Phil when he was on your interview?" And he's like, "Well, why would you think that he would ever agree to be here if I was going to be horrible to him?" Right? Right. You know, it's common sense, but again, these idiots don't have that, right? Okay. Okay, everyone. So, this is the final segment of my show. If anyone wants to talk with me, please tag me in the chat. We'll do a little bit of back and forth Q&A. If any contributions come in, I will shout them out. It would be greatly appreciated. Currently, good amount of super chats, but no tips so far on the show today. Which is why the leaderboard is still at 0 there. So, okay. How many hours a week do I spend playing games currently? Well, I basically play games 6 days a week. 1 day is reacting. So out of the 5 other days, the first stream is 3 hours of gameplay. The second stream is usually 2 hours of gameplay, but sometimes more, right? So, you know, you could argue at a minimum, I'm doing around 25 hours of gameplay, but that could go upwards to 30 or more, depending on how long my late night streams go. Like some of my Street Fighter streams end up going late, right? I don't know anything about any UK riots. I've heard nothing about it. So I can't comment on it because I don't know. I've never even seen anything about it, nor know anything about it. Favorite Marvel character? I don't really have one anymore. When I followed Marvel adamantly, it was always Wolverine, but that was ages ago. That was the 1990s. How do I have such a good work ethic? Well, probably because before I became a YouTuber, I held many jobs, most of which had really long hours. Like, you know, first of all, I've had a job since I was 16. Actually, no, I take that back. I had a job since I was 15. I actually worked at a job for a year before I should have even been able to work there. I worked there under the table, right? I literally have been constantly employed since I was 15. So, I mean, dude, how many years, right? I worked fast food. I worked, you know, sales like Circuit City Electronics. I worked at I don't even know what to call it. It wasn't a bank. It was a lender, but it wasn't a bank. It was Wells Fargo Financial. I worked for them for a year. Then I worked for Best Buy for a year on their business team. Then I worked for nearly 5 years at a desk job. Excuse me, a desk job at a helicopter company. And I did a million different things there. And then I became a YouTuber. So I already came into YouTube at an age of, like, what was I, in my late 20s? But I already had a work ethic established that I've been working my butt off to do things. You know what I'm saying? For example, Street Fighter. The only reason I ever was able to travel and play Street Fighter is because I worked enough to finance those trips myself. There were no sponsors. There were no partnerships. My parents didn't pay my way for me to fly around the globe like a lot of people. I hate to say it. There were some people who had the silver spoon in their mouth. You'd see them at every tournament. You'd be like, how the hell did you get here? You don't have a job, do you? Your parents pay for everything, huh? That's interesting. Rich kids. So, for me, it was busting my ass and earning rewards by busting my ass. So, I always had the bust your ass work ethic. And I always did. I always worked way more, you know, at that office job. I put in the 40 hours a week at the office, and then I had a laptop where I was working from home. You know, I probably worked around 60 to 70 hours a week, and I never got paid $1 of overtime when I worked there. You know, so that's just how it was. But yeah, so going into YouTube, right? At first I did it as a hobby for 2.5 years, and I juggled it along with that office job. Then when I lost the office job, I was like, well, if I even have a chance to make this work, I've got to bust my ass. And it was literally every single day pumping out tons of videos like clockwork, uploading as fast as I could, getting the games as soon as they came out, unboxing them, getting the playthrough up as fast as I could. Then when I became a streamer, having a set schedule, be dependable, don't let down your audience, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Instead, delight them by always being there and giving them what they wanted and going above and beyond from what you actually have as an expectation. That's what I've always been about. Okay? So, yeah, that's been my life experience. You know, a lot of people when they went into YouTube, they didn't have that mentality. They didn't have that. They don't even know what that means, right? That's why they have sporadic schedules. That's why they just kind of fuck about and they don't have any professionalism to them whatsoever. I'm literally the opposite. And I think that's what a lot of people say. Wow, he takes it so seriously, right? Like, yeah. Why do you think I'm still here after 16 years? Because I fucked around? No, I'm here after 16 years because I did take it seriously, and people respect that and like that, and a lot of my longtime viewers expect that from me now, right? Okay. I received my first tip of the day, $10 from Okie Dokie. Do you think we're in a recession? Do you think recessions affect your business? I don't know what the technical definition of recession is. I can tell you that in the United States, we are suffering from huge amounts of inflation where all prices are up. Some people are getting paid more. Like they've had raises and minimum wage has gone up, but that doesn't really fix the problem when all the prices already went up. It kind of just makes everything back to the same level, right? Does a recession affect me? The way I see it is this. All right? Everyone has the opportunity to pay for what they like as entertainment, correct? And there's many options out there for entertainment, right? You could get something that's a direct transaction. You buy it and you own it, or you buy it and you experience it, right? In my case, that's not what my model is. There's no, oh, you bought something from me. It's, I'm already giving you the content for free. You already have it. Look, you're watching it right now. You didn't pay for it. It's just here. Now, you have the option to judge and say, hey, I like the content you're putting out so much that I've decided to actually contribute in some way to keep it coming because I want to see that content continue to come because I like it so much, right? In truth, right? The average person who watches me, I would guess, probably would contribute at one point if they like me over the course of the time they've watched. How much? That's all over the place. There's some people that have literally given me thousands of dollars or in donations of some sort. And there's others that, hey, once I could give Phil a membership or once I could give Phil a $5 tip and, you know, and that was it. So it is, you know, it's different for everyone. Does a recession affect that? Yeah, I would say it would, because if you're already getting my content for free and you have less money right now, obviously you're more apt to say, hey, well, I guess I can't afford to support Phil right now, right? Correct? It's true. But at the same time, there's another way you got to look at it. You are getting countless amount of content out of me. Just right now, you get a daily podcast. You get 5+ hours of gameplay, right? On my throwback channel, you're getting retro throwback playthroughs, right? On a daily basis, restored, upgraded. On my React channel, you get a weekly clip show, right? And you're about to get a month of really cool reacting to other long-form stuff as well. And everything I just mentioned is free. Literally, you don't have to pay for any of it, right? How many hours of content is that in a month, right? And if you have a recession right now, and it's like, well, let me think about this. So I go to the movies, and I can pay $20-some for a movie ticket to see Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'll sit in the movie for 2 hours, and I'll enjoy the movie, and I'll talk with it for my friends for a bit, and then the movie's over, right? Or I can throw Darkside Phil $5 this month on a membership or on a tip, and he'll continue to pump out hundreds of hours of content for me to digest in a month. And I know that I'm contributing and allowing him to continue to do that, right? I feel like a lot of people would actually do the latter rather than the former, because one is transactional and one is reciprocal. Do you see the difference? Deadpool and Wolverine is going to exist whether you buy your ticket to it or not. I will not. If people stopped supporting me, I would not exist anymore. I would be forced to go out of business and try to go find other things to do. Of course, those things would be less profitable than what I do right now and less meaningful because I love what I do for a living. But you know that when you support me and my content, you're allowing me to continue to reciprocate with more content, right? Those big budget studios will keep pumping out movies good or bad, whether or not you spend $20 on your movie ticket. That business isn't going to go away, right? You have a direct impact on keeping this channel and the content I do alive when you subscribe, when you become a member, when you watch the video with an ad on it, when you do a super chat, when you tip me, all of that. You have direct impact on keeping stuff healthy and moving, right? So I would feel that people who are intelligent know that and would more aptly say, I want to keep Phil going. And that's why 16 years into this, even though the attention of the internet has moved on and I do not have a large audience by any means whatsoever, I still make a living doing it. Even only having a few hundred people on a stream daily, even only getting a few hundred views to maybe tops 1,000 views on a video daily, I can still make a living doing this because enough intelligent people are watching my content and like it enough they want it to continue and they'll support it. As opposed to someone who's a content creator out there that gets 20,000 views on a stream, but they're not going to support it. They're just going to sit there and watch it and meme in the chat like a bunch of brainless idiots that they are. They're not there because it's meaningful content that they care about. They're there to join in with what's popular on the internet and let the drool come out of their mouth and type the meme in the chat like a moron, spam with the fucking bullshit or whatever, you know, brainless. My content is very different from anything you're going to find in the mainstream, and you know that. And that's why you're here. You're not here to see the mainstream nonsense. You're here to enjoy, have a chill time, get some insight, have a good laughs at my expense, but then have a few laughs with me as well, right? And that's all good. Okay. I received a $5 tip from Dan the Man. Thank you, Dan the Man, for a $5 tip. I appreciate that. What was the original question about? It was about with this supposed recession that's going on, do you think that affects me? And my answer is, I don't really think so, because I think people realize they have more value supporting me and the hundreds and hundreds of hours of content I give you a month for free, as opposed to if you're going to go out and buy something that's a limited time experience, very expensive, and it's gone in a couple of hours, right? Big difference there. And that's why I'm still successful, even if there is a recession or not. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So last chance if you want to ask me a question or a contribution or anything, because I'm going to adjourn in just a minute here and get set up for our final Marvel Rivals gameplay experience. No, we don't go to the movies. We don't go to the movies because it's too expensive, and it logistically, half the time on our day, I mean, let me put it this way. Before COVID hit, Kat and I would go out regularly because everything was different. You know, her work schedule was different. Our life was different. Once COVID hit, it fucked everything up. And ever since then, we don't even have consistency in like the days off we have, the hours we have to do things. It's just wild. So, you know, we don't, to go to the movies would literally be have to be an endeavor where we have to program it into a day that's already busy. A lot of times our day off is our day to relax. You understand? I just want to relax after streaming all week. She just wants to relax after working all week. We don't want our day off to be, oh, we're going out all day to run around, go to the movies and shit. No, we just want to stay fucking home and relax, man. So that's why we don't go out and do that shit. And to be honest, it's too fucking expensive. Now I'm going to spend 20-something dollars on a movie ticket, $30, $40 on concessions to go see a movie once. I'll just wait. If it ever goes on demand, we'll watch it there. But no, we haven't been to the movies in many, many years. Pre-COVID was the last time we were at the movies. Kat is not currently playing any game right now. There's no games out that interest her. Do I want a copy of Deadpool and Wolverine? It doesn't exist. You can't have a copy of Deadpool and Wolverine right now. Eventually, maybe, but it would have to be digital. I don't even have a Blu-ray player. It would have to be digital. Yeah, and Jasper are good. Today, you know, it's a day off for everyone. Everyone's relaxing today. It just sucks that it's super hot in here. So we have all the air conditioners pumping to try to cool the house down. And it's like this for the next, like, 5-6 days, actually, I think. Oh my God. No, it's like this for endlessly. Today, 82. Tomorrow, 86. Monday, 83. Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, 83. Thursday, 87. Friday, 88. So every day we're going to have the air conditioning on max blasting here. Ugh. Yeesh. Cosmos, thank you for a €5 super chat. He says, here's 5 units for some limitless content. Well, thank you, Cosmos. I appreciate that. Ugh. No, I've never invested in crypto. I haven't had any money to invest in anything. I for a while there, I had really bad financial problems, and luckily, I'm out of the situation in my life where I'm having really bad financial problems. But I just don't have any extra available money to be investing in anything. Sadly. Why no Wolverine yet in Rivals? You know, Jade, you'd have to think that it's some kind of a licensing thing, right? That they wouldn't have Wolverine or Deadpool. If you look, it's basically the main MCU people in it, and Deadpool and Wolverine are literally just joining the mainstream MCU now. They've always been movies that were separate from the MCU, the X-Men franchises and the Wolverine franchises and the Deadpool, but now they're starting to connect, and now perhaps they're going to get those licenses in there. That's probably what it is. Ooh. Is there a way to donate without partial money going to YouTube? Yes. Tip at PayPal. Tip me via PayPal and YouTube gets nothing. But I have all these different ways that you can contribute. There are the ways through YouTube, which would be super chats, super stickers, memberships, and gifted memberships. There's tipping me directly through PayPal. You can also pledge to my Patreon, but people who do that typically just do a few bucks a month because it's a way for them to support if they don't watch the streams. It's just kind of like a behind-the-scenes pledge you can do. And some people pledge to my Patreon monthly to get like a private video made because I do that for a certain level of pledge. But mostly, for those who want to support and not YouTube, it would be a tip. Excuse me. D20 Jenny, I'm gonna honestly ask this. They said, are you worried you'll end up like Carrie at the prom with your new collab? So explain to me how me digitally over the internet showing up on a show where I'm gonna hang out with them for 2 hours as a guest is going to equate to me getting pig's blood dumped on my head at the prom. If I'm on the show and they immediately start being really nasty to me or my family members or anyone like that, I could say, hey, stop doing that. That's not right. Let's calm down, you know? And if they continue to do it, I can say goodbye and I can leave. At what point do I become a prisoner on the show where they can just torture me? Like, what are you talking about? Please explain to me how exactly this could happen. I would love to hear this. Do they have a way to trap? Is it like Ghostbusters? If you're on the stream with them, they throw out a trap and they trap you in a trap. You can't leave. So I'll be like Slimer stuck in the trap. Or the Scoleri brothers. Remember them? From Ghostbusters 2? So they're going to trap me in a trap like the Scoleri brothers. And then they're going to put me in a streamer containment system where I can't leave. And I'm just going to be stuck in this containment system in a firehouse in New York City for the rest of my existence. Is that what you're saying? If not, please explain, because I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You sound really stupid. What is it talking about? Oh my God. Oh my God. I received a super chat from Nev, 15 bucks. Your content is original, with little flash, and it's honest. It's nostalgic from what we've always known and are used to, so thank you, Phil. Thank you, Nev. That's a very nice way to describe my content. Very good. Same trolls, different socks, says Cracker Jacks. You're probably right. It's the same person who always says dumb shit, right? Skiznalit, as of now, I will be appearing on the Kino Casino show that they broadcast over on Kick. And it's going to be Tuesday night. At the time when I would normally be streaming here, I'll be over on Kick with them for a couple of hours. I'm taking a break from my night stream that night to appear as a guest on their show and see how it goes. There you go. I literally just said at the normal time I would do my late night streams, and someone just said, what time? Whatever time's convenient for you, I'll be on there. How about that? If you said 4 in the morning, I'll be on their show at 4 in the morning. Even though they're not broadcasting then, I'll still be on the show at 4 in the morning. Just for you. Oh. No, I don't know anything about giant gang warfare going on in the UK. Again, I don't live in the UK. I'm not aware of this. If this is actually happening, I wish everyone the best. I hope everyone is safe. I don't know what's going on. I'm literally a gaming chill streamer. I don't know how I could affect that or what I really have to add to it. Right? Will I be watching the Yakuza series on Amazon? I probably will just for curiosity purposes, right? It comes out in November. I don't see why I wouldn't watch it just for curiosity purposes. And I'll probably do a review of it too. you're asking me something I don't know, Dentronics. He says, can you watch stuff on Kick without owning an account? I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue. I made an account to join in their chat. So I already have an account, and that's how I was watching, but I don't know how easy it is to watch without an account. I have no idea. No, that is true on Kick. When you broadcast, the broadcast is archived. You can watch it as a video on demand after the fact, I think, right? Is it better to watch Kick on mobile or PC? I don't know. I have no idea. I've only watched it on my phone. No, I've not seen anything about Dynasty Warriors Origins. Never heard of it. I'll have to look into it. Although I don't really think Dynasty Warriors games are all the rage anymore. I mean, they barely even, released them anymore. Musu is what they call that formula, Musu. Like, they never even do that anymore. I already have 72 subs on Kick. That's very exciting. I'm not planning on using that account for anything but chatting, so very exciting to have 72 subs. Who will I play with today in Rivals? Whoever I haven't used yet, that seems appealing to me. I have to see who's left who I haven't used yet, right? I don't think I used any of the Guardians. Well, I guess I used Star-Lord for like one game. I'll probably try Rocket Raccoon. I'll probably try Groot. I'll probably anyone who I haven't really messed with yet. Do I see myself retiring before I go bald? I don't think I'm going to go fully bald. I think this hairline will continue to recede a bit, but I'm already 42, and this hairline has only reduced a little bit in the last 10, 15 years I've been a YouTuber. I don't think I'm going to go fully bald. I think if I was going to, I already would have. I think I'm lucky in that regard because I told you guys, both my uncle and all of my cousins from my uncle's side are all completely bald. And they went bald in like their 20s and 30s. And here I am, I'm 42, and I still got hair. In fact, my hair looks better now than I think it has ever been. So I guess I'm kind of lucky in that regard, you know? All right. You can tell where the console boxes are. PS5 right, Xbox left. Let's see. PS5, you think this is the PS5 box, and you think this is the Xbox box. You're partially correct. Partially correct. Okay? This indeed is the PS5 box. This is both the Xbox One and the Switch box. Yes. And actually, I had one of my I was going to try to use the Victrix box from the Victrix joystick, but it actually wasn't fitting. So I ended up using the others instead. So you almost had it right. You were close. Okay. All right, guys. I think it's time. Why does it look like that? That's weird. It's more white on this side, and this side's transparent, and you can actually see it on the camera now, but I don't know why. Why does it look like that? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys. Let's end the show. Let's jump into Marvel Rivals, shall we? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, I'll tell you all about my final day with Marvel Rivals, as well as a chill Stardew Valley stream. I'll give you any updates that I have on anything. Hold on, Mr. Jupple just did a $5 super chat. I'm sorry, Mr. Jupple, I already moved over, so it didn't play your animation. But thank you for that last-minute contribution. And thank you all for your contributions today. Thanks for chilling. I hope you'll hang around for Marvel Rivals and have a good time with me, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.